What's up guys, welcome back to Airbnb ABCs. This is a video that I've been waiting basically 1 year to make for you guys, and it is how much money that we have made in Airbnb and vrbo renting our very first property as a short-term rental. And so what I want you guys to do is hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button. If you've never been here before, you can see how we run an Airbnb business, how to start an Airbnb business, how to grow yours, or just watch and follow along in the trials and tribulations of running my own. I'm super excited to give you guys the full accounting of what we have done in the last year with our very first property. That property is Moonlight Ridge, and that is a building that we bought for $525,000 in, I think, June of 2021 is when we got it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a year over year tally of how much that you can make. We're gonna start on July 1st of 2021 and wrap it up in June 30th of 2022. It is a 1 bedroom plus a loft that we market as a 2 bedroom, 2 bath cabin. It is what I would call a top tier property when you're looking at a mountain market. It is built as a log cabin. It has wood burning fireplaces inside, it has wood burning fireplace outside. It has a terrific view. It is in a great neighborhood, and it has been a very strong renter for us from day one. Now, I'm not going to make you guys wait all the way through to the end of the video. I'm going to just tell you right off the bat, we made over $90,000 on our first year with this particular Airbnb cabin. We had hoped to get like $50,000 to $60,000 of gross rentals before our cleaning fees. When I say that $90,000, that's all the income that we got total. That's cleaning fees, that's rent, that's anything that came through as income. And so we had thought that we could get $50,000 or $60,000, and then plus our cleaning fees on top of that, and we would have a pretty successful Airbnb for what we had purchased it at the time. Again, we did over 90,000, so we really outkicked our coverage, and it really goes to show what is possible in these markets, even with these very small cabins in these destination markets like the Smokies, like the Panhandle of Florida, Joshua Tree, places like that that are very popular for folks to go. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna break this down month by month so you can get a good look at the returns that we get in the Smokies per month, and I'll kind of break down the reasons why some numbers fell where they did and some of the lessons that we've learned since we've been in this now for an entire year. So like I said, we closed on this property in June, and there were some setup costs involved in that, and we could use that and put that into our expenses, but what I wanted to give you guys more or less was just the annual year over year revenue minus expenses on any given year type of scenario. When we first came in, we replaced a lot of furniture, like for example, put in a bunch of log beds, log end tables, you know, very cabiny type of stuff. We replaced a lot of appliances, water heaters, and so that would go into your front end cost. But for the purposes of this video, I want to make it just essentially year over year on a typical year. And what we did is we started renting at the very end of June, but our first full month was in July of 2021. And when we tallied it up all at the end of our first month, you know, expecting to get, you know, $5,000 of gross rentals plus cleaning fees, we ended up with $11,381.56. The biggest deal is that this is right in the middle of summer. It's in the top of tourist season, you know, nationwide, but this simply blew our minds and actually sowed the seed for us to start working on getting our second short-term rental just as quickly as we possibly could because interest rates were low. We knew that they weren't going to stay that way, and we had a little bit more cash to deploy. And I'll leave a video link to that rental here. And that has been in our stable of rentals since September. And so hopefully, if you subscribe, you'll see that in the future when I go down those numbers. The next month up was August of 2021. Now, for some reason, we had a little bit less income. August is not as strong as June and July typically. We had $7,278.88. And I can recall back then we had a couple of cancellations and just things didn't exactly work out, which is the way things go in life. And so we had a little bit lower than our July number. Now, coming into September, I really didn't expect this, but we only made $5,269.04. And I didn't really realize this is that September in the Smoky Mountains is a little bit of a slower cool down month after the craziness of June, July, and August. A lot of this has to do with going back to school, and people have already blown their summer vacation budgets with wherever they're going. And so Between August and October, things just sort of slow down in September, and so you get a little bit of lull in your bookings, but that also leaves you some time to go use the place yourself. If it's a second home, or even if it's an investment home, you just like the location, it's still going to be nice and warm. The leaves are going to be on the trees. It's still going to be all sorts of stuff to do, and so that leaves the time to do that and to do some maintenance, looking forward to the fall market, because in the Smoky Mountains, and I would assume in other mountain markets like Blue Ridge, that people come down to see the leaves, see the colors change and all that, and do Thanksgiving and such, which brings me into October of 2021. We did $9,686.78 in October. This again has to do with the colors changing. If you have a nice mountain view like we have, you get this beautiful, reds and yellows and oranges and such. And then as the leaves start falling off, your mountain views get even better, because some of our mountain view is obstructed by trees, and so the mountain views get even better. Now, moving from then into November, you're starting to get into, your cooler months. Leaves are coming off the trees. You have Thanksgiving coming up. You have the holidays. People are thinking about getting together or taking a retreat from their own home and having the holidays down in the mountains or in some sort of vacation area. This is a pretty big area, or a pretty big draw for that area. And we made $7,695.57 in the month of November. And a lot of that was with our Thanksgiving bookings, which turned out really well. Moving forward into December, Christmas is coming up, $8,659.58. Again, for all the same reasons. People are coming down for the holidays, and if you're in the Smoky Mountains market, they do a very good job, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and Sevierville, of keeping things going on, decorating, getting conferences in, doing Christmas stuff. They do a very good job of keeping tourism going year-round down there. So moving from December into January and February, these are going to be a couple of your slower months. You pretty much have your weekends booked. If you can get weekday bookings, which we did in a lot of cases, they're going to be at relatively low rates. This is a great time, though, to get your maintenance issues done again that you had in that October, November, December months. Get those wrapped up so that you can be ready for the insanity that is the summer months. So in January, we only did $4,097.28 of revenue. We used the place either in January or February, I can't recall. And then we had some cancellations due to massive snowstorms that the Smoky Mountains usually don't get. But we had some pretty awesome stays too, where people gave us some really cool pictures with a lot of snow on our cabin, which is something that doesn't happen in the Smokies a lot. February of 22, we did $5,460.10. Nothing real special about that month other than it was more than January, and I believe I adjusted my pricing from learning from January, trying to get ahead in February, get our pricing to where it needed to be, which is actually probably a little bit lower. And by lowering our prices, I think we got more bookings and ended up making more money in the shorter month of February versus January. March, you're starting to get into some spring break stuff. You're also starting to get into the period of time where people are sick of being in their house and they want to get out. January and February also has that kind of holiday hangover where people have spent a ton of money on the holidays. They don't want to spend any more money. But when you start getting into March, things pick up again. We made $7,441.20 in March of 22. But this is also when inflation, gas prices started ticking up, and stocks started to decline. And so we're starting to get into this part of economic malaise that we're in right now, moving into April of 2022 with $6,781.19. We're looking there at some spring break type of stuff, but again, there was a noticeable kind of slowdown in April from the previous years and from even like 18 and 19. And so I believe that the economy had a major negative impact on our bookings, but we still made a lot of money in April. May, which they say is the slowest market in the Smoky Mountains, we still did $6,621.24, and we were able to stay booked. It was a tough slog. We had to do a lot with pricing. There was a lot of nervousness, but we ended up making money, which brings us to June of 22 for $10,376.51. Again, this is your peak vacation months. Despite inflation, despite gas and diesel being through the roof, despite the stock market in the tank, we put on a solid June, and July of 2022 is looking to be equally good or better than June of 22 or July of 2021. So if you guys are still with me after like 9 or 10 minutes of sitting through all of these numbers and you were doing the math, you would find that we've made $90,748.93 in the 12-month period between July of 2021 and June of 2022. Now, in that time period, we had expenses of $39,504.64. And that is everything from cleaning fees to utilities, to grounds care, to repairs that we had to make, because there's always going to be something that you're going to be repairing with these things, be it a very minor thing that only costs a few dollars, or a major thing that's thousands, several thousand. These things are getting constant use. There's vacationers. There's the old drive it like a rental type of thing, and so there's no difference between that and a car and a house, and so that made up almost $40,000 of expenses, which we netted then $51,244.29. And if you can remember back when I said that we had estimated to gross 50 to 60,000 before cleaning fees, we netted what we thought that we might gross, and obviously that's before taxes, and I really don't know what the actual number is after tax because I have accountants handle that with all the deductions and depreciation and all the other things that go into it. I'm not exactly sure how much that is after tax, but it is quite a large amount of money for just one particular property. I mean, I think that that's somewhere near the median household income for people in the United States. We made off just one single property. And when you get into what we're making on this property on a cash-on-cash return basis, that's when things start getting really interesting. As you recall, I said that this property was $525,000. We used a 10% down second home loan in order to get it. So our down payment was only $52,500. Let's say you tack on another $10,000 for closing costs, prepaids, things of that nature, and you're up to $62,500 just to get into the property. When you take that and divide your $51,244 that we had in net profits, you end up with an 82% cash-on-cash return. If you want to go ahead and factor in the stuff that we ended up replacing right when we started up this whole venture, add another $10,000 or so, then I think $20,000 would be very fair for the down payment, closing costs, prepaids, and the renovation costs. You'd be up to $72,500, and you'd still be at a 71% cash-on-cash return. And if that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know it will, because you're not going to be able to find a cash-on-cash return like that in almost any other investment. Long terms from where we were coming from, long-term rentals, you're not going to see that type of thing. Stock markets, anything basically outside of doing legal or quasi-legal stuff, you're probably not going to see a 71 or an 82% cash-on-cash return in any given investment. So guys, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button down below to help me out in the YouTube algorithm. Click on these videos that's on the screen right now. They're going to tell you about how we run our Airbnb business, the properties that we have, and the trials and tribulations of running a short-term rental business. I appreciate you guys watching today, and I'll see you in the next one.